Yo, what's up guys, this is ApTreX here. Welcome to a new video, and finally after months of waiting, Citra MMJ is back with a brand new update. Not just that, but the theme has also changed along with few improvements in performance which we'll be taking a look at. Starting off is the changelog which I'll post right here. So there are three builds of Citra MMJ. The first is normal Citra MMJ classic one. The second is Citra MMJ Antutu version. The third will be Citra MMJ storage access version. So these builds just released few hours ago on the GitHub page of Citra MMJ. I recommend you guys to use the Citra MMJ Antutu build. Because of the Antutu name, this will trick your Android device into thinking that it's a benchmarking app. So Citra MMJ will get more performance boost. Before starting, if you guys are new here, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, turn on all notifications because I bring similar videos on my channel. Let's take a look at the gameplay setup and review of the new Citra MMJ. So let's get started. Here I have the Citra MMJ and this is the official Citra Android. As you can see, the Citra MMJ is looking kinda fresh, and once we open it, we just have to allow a few permissions as always, and you can see the brand new Citra theme. It is orangish in color and I like this theme quite a lot. There are three sections. The first one is for adding your game directories. The other two are for CIA. Now let's just go ahead and click on add folder, and let me select the Citra MU folder where I have stored Pokemon Sun, Pokemon X. If you press on this button, you will see multiplayer, refresh library, combo key setting, input binding. Now let me just go ahead and click on multiplayer and show you guys the options. You can create room or either join room. You have the console ID, so this works I guess with Wi-Fi. Afterwards we'll just go to this CPU looking icon. Here you will see the settings for Citra MMJ, such as use dual core internal resolution. 4x resolution is 1600 x 960, which is better than HD. Show FPS has been enabled. Turn on enable hardware shader. Accurate multiplication, will set it at accurate level. Shader type will use separate shader. I remember these old settings and it's quite nostalgic to be back with Citra MMJ finally after so long. Let's scroll down. Enable memory reuse, just enable it because it will improve performance in some games, but it might cause some texture issues. So we'll talk about that later on in today's video. Speed percentage limit will set it to 200%, and I just remember that I used to create configurations for Citra MMJ. If this video reaches 300 likes, I'll create another configuration just like the old days, so be sure to hit that like button. New 3DS mode, just enable it. CPU GIT, keep it enabled. Theme, you have default theme, you cannot change it. Afterwards, audio output, you can turn it off if you have a low-end device. We'll scroll down more. Enable audio stretching, don't enable it. Afterwards, I guess that's about it for the best settings for Citra MMJ. We have more settings later on which I'll show, but let's just go ahead and click on Pokemon Sun. So here at the top left, you will get some new details which will disappear after a few seconds. It's basically showing you the settings which you are using. Let's just go ahead and press back, click on edit button / toggle controls. Now you may also ask, what are these controls in red color? So these are the controls which you have not enabled. You can enable these control according to your need and it will turn green. And now I'll press back again, we'll go to settings. These are some additional settings in Citra MMJ. So if we just scroll down, we'll enable FMV, skip slow draw, skip CPU access, skip texture copy, and also force texture filter is a new option, so we'll keep it at linear. This I do not recommend you guys enable because it will only work well with high-end devices. Enable geometry shaders, also good. Asynchronous shader compilation, make sure to enable this. Afterwards, select the large layout. That's about it, boys. Let's go back, and as you can see, we have now immersive gameplay experience and we are getting about 60 FPS as far as I can see. I forgot to mention that the settings which I just showed you is not the best settings for Citra MMJ because of course if you have a low-end device, you cannot use the 4x resolution. So for low-end devices, I recommend you keep the resolution at 1x, and accurate multiplication, just make sure it's turned off for the best amount of FPS, and post texture filter, just keep it at auto. And these settings you can enable. Also enable geometry shader and shadow rendering, just disable it if you don't have a good device. Asynchronous shader compilation, make sure to enable it. So those were the best settings for low-end devices. Now here we go, the game has started. Let me press back again to show you some extra settings. We have screen rotation, cheat code, search memory, multiplayer, custom layout. So these are the settings. If we click on custom layout, we can resize the displays. With the help of custom layout, I can maximize the gameplay experience by stretching out the last screen. Now one thing I noticed while starting this game is I didn't even see a single texture issue, which is really impressive because generally even in official Citra Android there are a lot of flickering issues at the intro of Pokemon Sun. And in Citra MMJ I can't see a single issue. And at the top left corner, as usual, you have the FPS, VPS and also speed percentage. Now notice how I set the speed percentage limit to 200. It's barely exceeding 190, which means that at 4x resolution and all the extra features enabled, you cannot get stable 60 fps even on an flagship Android device in Citra MMJ, which I wouldn't really complain if you have a flagship device, but I can't really say how it would work on a low-end device. So yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. Let me know in the comment section down below if you guys like this new update of Citra MMJ, and maybe the king of 3DS emulators for Android is back. See you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.